Hey guys, this time we've got Jun Kazama. She's the latest in the Tekken Bishoujo line. Looks like the Tekken Bishoujo line is gonna keep going on at least for a little while. They've just announced Nina Williams, who I feel like probably they could have done right off the bat. Um, but here we have June. June is probably, no, she is the oldest of the characters in the Tekken line, and as far as the Tekken line goes, she's kind of a woman amongst girls. She's Jin Kazama's mother, if you didn't know. And I don't know, there's a whole bunch of crazy Tekken backstory that I'm not going to bother getting into. But here she is, and there's Shunya Yamashita's artwork. Here's the back of the box. Pretty standard stuff for the Bishoujo line. They don't really mix it up. So you've seen one, you've seen them all, but here is her description if you want to read it. You can pause it there. There's Xiaoyu, who has been released. The last Tekken Bishoujo to be released was Xiaoyu. And a bunch of box stuff. Box stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and open her up and take a look. Okay, so here she is. I figured I'd put the rest of the girls in the background. What the heck? So the illustration that Shunya drew is pretty sedate. There's nothing too crazy about it. And I think my estimation is that he was kind of trying to communicate that she's a more mature character. And she's not really, I don't know, she seems more kind of confident the way she's standing there. She's not winking at you or doing anything too crazy. I don't know, all the Tekken characters are all pretty... there's nothing about them that's over the top, I don't think. But she seems a little bit more statuesque, I guess, in this pose. She's just kind of, I guess, striding, I guess you could say is the name for what this is. But all in all, I think it kind of conveys the attitude of the character well enough. The sculpt matches the illustration pretty well. Some of the lines and the positions that her body's in is a little different. Her head's a little lower. Her legs out a little further. Stuff like that. But all in all, they seem to have gotten all the details from the illustration just right. Such as her boots here. Let's go ahead and start from the bottom up. So boots are interesting, and she does come off her base, by the way, and comes off to a point where she's got pretty much all of her foot filled in. The only part that really has a hole in it, or where these little tabs go, there's some slots in her feet. Can't really see it the way the lights are shining. You can kind of see it there. Fills in, but she still doesn't quite stand on her own. Again, I think if you were determined enough, maybe you probably get it to work out. She's not so wildly off balance that it's impossible, but the display base is tame enough. I don't see why you'd want to forego it, but at any rate, they've got all the little details in here. Maybe they're not little details, but her toes. Shunya, I don't know. I don't know about Shunya's toes, frankly. They seem a little weird to me. I'm not sure how you do toes on a Bishoujo girl, but I feel like maybe this isn't it. But she does have toenail polish on there. She's got the stocking on this leg, so the foot has the stocking on it, and then her toes like half open toe. Her big toes are covered, which is an interesting design. It's funny, before these Bishoujo figures, I never paid any attention to women's fashion whatsoever. Now I find myself figuring out what exactly it is I'm looking at. She's got one stocking here. There's no real texture to it. It's just matte. You don't see any part of her leg through it. Nothing about it seems transparent. It looks very just like a solid color. And I don't know. Seems like maybe part of it was supposed to be transparent, and maybe that's what the lighter color is here, these birds, but I don't know, that doesn't really come through if that's the case. If it's supposed to be lighter because you see her leg underneath. Nothing about this conveys that, but you can see these birds on her leg here. It looks like they're flying up out of some like tall grass or something. It seems to come up the side of her leg. The top of the stocking has a band that kind of pinches her skin, which I dig. Koto seems like they're a fan of this as much as I am because they keep doing it. That kind of pinched skin looks like she's got a little bit of meat to her. She's not just skin and bones, which is nice. Although, I gotta say, now that we've gotten to it, her caboose, at least from this angle, is a little, I don't know. You can be the judge. I'll leave it at that. I'll just show you and you can judge for yourself. But she's got a pretty significant wedgie going on there that I won't complain about. But I don't know. I'm not sure how to judge the way a wedgie's painted, but this one's painted pretty well. She's got these bracelets and a belt to hold up her the pants she's not wearing. But you know, that's fashion. What are you gonna do? But it is kind of an odd design, all in all. Some of the, I mean, she's got one stocking, half open toe boots, wristbands, a belt, a swimsuit, and a scarf. It's kind of all over the place, but I like it for what it is. It's, I guess that's Shunya Yamashita for you, I suppose. I'm pretty sure he's the one responsible for this design. And then she's also got a silver hairband, which actually is like two bands. There's actually a hair sculpt that you can see in between, I believe. I think that's what I'm looking at there. Yeah. And the hairband's just a plain silver. But this face sculpt on her, I think, is the best part of this figure. They've managed to make a very attractive face with this sculpt. Not that the other ones are dogs or anything, but for me, some are better than others, and this one hits all the right notes for my personal taste. She's got fairly detailed eyes. Let me go ahead and try to focus in a little better here. And what's nice is she has a focal point. It looks like she's looking at you right about there or so. Somewhere in there. Which is nice. I think when their eyes are a little off, and you never get that point like that, it kind of takes away from the figure a little bit. I think a little of that goes a long way. The paint on her bathing suit is probably the most interesting paint on her. The rest of the paint is basically all her skin. She's got a lot of exposed skin, and it's all done pretty well. It's a little dark in spots where they've shaded it, but not too dark. It looks okay. I'm trying to think. There's another Bishoujo that kind of is dark in spots that maybe was a little weird, but I can't think off the top of my head. But nothing weird about it. Everything looks good. She's, I'd say, pretty significantly well endowed. Let's not pretend that this is not a consideration when it comes to these Bishoujo figures. I won't, anyway. You guys can. I won't. I won't pretend. All right. Nothing too surprising about her. For me, the thing that wasn't readily apparent until I really got her in my hands was how good the face sculpt is. It just it looks good from all angles, and I think they did a great job. Parts of the sculpt that I'm not too crazy for. Let's see. So, her hand, her right hand. There's kind of a gap that should be there that isn't. That's not her finger in there. And let me see if I can really focus on this so I can illustrate what I'm talking about here. I don't know if my phone's gonna. Well, there we go. Yeah, you can see where her finger goes. The tip of her finger is right here on the outside. So there should be a hole there. Not a huge deal, but not something I noticed until I got her in my hands. A similar kind of thing is going on in this hand, where you can see her fingers just kind of square off and go to the palm. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure if anything can be done about that. I think it should have been. That's not great. Her thumb kind of blocks it from view for the most part, and like I said, I never noticed it in pictures, but I'll be damned if it's not there. The other things for mine in particular, I've got some paint that's rubbed off on her. You can see there, just above her bathing suit, kind of on her side, some black paint. I'm not too thrilled about that. And I got another spot right here, and another there on her arm. I don't know if that stuff's going to come off with like a little magic eraser or something, but I'm not too thrilled about that. I've had pretty good luck, I think, with most of the figures I get. None of them have been broken or anything like that. The Lucy Ghostbusters Bishoujo was a little odd because she didn't want to go on her base, but aside from that, everything's been, quality control with Koto has been pretty good. Every now and then you get little paint things like this. I'm not sure if those can be avoided or not, but at any rate, that's where I stand on that one. So size-wise, she's pretty big. She's probably actually, of the Bishoujo I have, Lily was the biggest, and I think Jun is just taller than Lily. Kind of hard to tell. I'm not going to bust out my ruler for this, but it looks like she's, her hair is just a little bit taller than Lily's. So that would make her the biggest, I think. I don't have Alyssa Boskonovich, so I'm not sure how she stacks up with the rest of these. From what I remember, she was about the same size roughly as Christy. So if she is, then Jun here would be taller. So the rest of the Tekken line, sizes up pretty well. So you can kind of stagger these maybe a little bit. You can get an idea maybe of how tall she is. I don't know. With them all on their bases here, it's kind of hard to say. But Jun is the biggest for sure. All right. Okay. There we go. Asuka, you have no gratuitous butt shot. So you're gonna have to work on that. She actually could have if they didn't do that thing with her costume. And on that note, it's kind of odd that they went. Well, I think it is kind of odd that they went with this costume for Jun, because that's not really her iconic look. For me, Jun is significant because Jun was one of 2 of the playable characters in the Tekken 2 demo that's on a demo disc that was included with the PlayStation when it was still pretty new. Me and my friend, he got a Tekken, he got a PlayStation, excuse me, and we didn't have any games. We just got the system, but the system came with the disc, and you better believe we played the hell out of that Tekken 2 demo. And I didn't. It was Jun and Lei, and I didn't really care for Lei, so I played a lot of Jun, and kind of got, I wouldn't say good with her, but I could use her to a degree just because I played with her in that demo for as much as I did. So for that reason alone, she's a little bit more significant to me personally than the rest of the Tekken characters that have been released in this Bishoujo line. So to go with this costume kind of is, I don't know, I like it. I think it looks good. It's probably the most interesting one to go with, but just it doesn't really say Jun Kazama to me, but maybe this statue will change that. I think it will. And that's kind of been a theme with the rest of the Tekken line. Xiaoyu, pretty close, but this statue ain't got no pants, and that's not how she is in the game. JC, she's looks how she does in the game, but JC typically doesn't look like this. She wasn't a wrestler up until this game. And then Asuka, she's got her jumpsuit here that's down, and I don't really ever recall seeing her like that at all in the game at any point. I'd say Christy's probably the most accurate representation of the character, not necessarily what they looked like in the game or any of that stuff. Just Christy. When you think Christy, this is what you think of. When you think Lily, this is probably not what you think of, because this is not her most popular costume. Hers was a dress without a midriff that's white. Pretty similar, but different enough that it's interesting that they go with the costumes that they went with. But Jun follows suit in that. They just announced Nina, and interestingly enough, they showed a Nina Williams illustration that the statue, we all have to presume, is going to be based on, because that's how Koto does it. That it's an illustration that I don't know if it didn't exist before, but I certainly have never seen it. And I kept my eye out for that kind of stuff, because chances are if they continue the Tekken Bishoujo line that the statues are... My logic was the statues were probably going to be based on the illustrations that are out there. And that's not true. That's not what they did for Nina. They came up with some new illustrations, and that's interesting, and I like that. Good on them for doing that. So there she is with the rest of the Tekken line that I have, anyway. And then why not? I have Chun-Li here, and we do a quick size comparison there. So Chun-Li kicks right over the top of her head. Chun-Li's definitely a bigger statue than Jun is. Kind of hard to tell with Chun-Li because of her pose, but I think Chun-Li is amongst the biggest Bishoujo they've made so far. Jun is probably the biggest amongst the Tekken line, although I think she's still in scale, and since she's the oldest of the characters, I guess it stands to reason that she's taller, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. Who knows? She's just a tall chick. Or, excuse me, woman. You could say MILF. I kind of hate that word, so I won't. But you could. So there she is. Thanks for watching. I think if you like the way this character or this statue looks, this design for the character, then you won't be disappointed with the statue. They've done a very good job making this character look good. Face sculpt is great. The rest of her body's sculpted well. Her caboose is a little on the iffy side, but that's by no means a deal breaker. And all in all, very good. I'm happy with her. So thanks for checking me out, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Check me out on Tumblr. I'm not sure really what the next review is going to be that I'll put up. I have more Bishoujo that I have not done reviews for. There's always that. I've been getting into a lot of Gundam stuff lately. I've got a handful of D-Arts figures that I've never did reviews for, so who knows. I got some Play Arts Kai stuff that I haven't reviewed either. I got a lot of stuff sitting around that I don't have a place to put right now that I never reviewed, so stay tuned. Something will be next. What it will be a surprise to us all. So, thanks, and I'll see you next time.